So today's your day off. You got nothing planned. You remember that N64 you used to play as a kid. So you bust it out from the basement, plug it in, pop in your copy of Super Mario 64, and get ready to play some of those games from your childhood. Turn it on, and nothing happens. It's broken, right? Gotta take it to a repair shop. Not necessarily. Sometimes older video game systems, especially in my experience, the Nintendo systems, can be just a little finicky, especially due to their age. So, today I'm going to discuss some different things you can do, like making sure everything's connected properly, ways to get your games loading if those are the problem, and things to avoid doing, so you don't make things worse. I have actually used every single thing on this list. But, quick disclaimer, these aren't ways to get your systems working 100% of the time, make your games always work. It's not guaranteed to work for you. Sometimes it's just so old that it's broken and you need to take it to a repair shop, get it fixed, or you might need to get a new system or game entirely. So, first thing you want to do is check your connections. So, check your power. Most systems have a power light on them. It'll be red for most of the Nintendo systems. And if you switch on your system and the light turns on, you have power. If the light doesn't turn on, you don't have power. It's probably just the cable that's not working. You might have a working cable and you might just have to plug it in all the way. Another thing that you want to do is make sure that your TV connections are hooked up into the right spot. So AV cables are a type of cable that's really easy to mess up. They have 3 different ends. There's a red, yellow, and a white, and it's very easy to just forget to put them in the right spot. You want to make sure that each color cable is in the right color port, and then again, make sure they're all plugged in all the way. And then if you don't have the right port on your TV to plug your cable into, you can buy an adapter for pretty much any cable online. You can use a guide like Tom's Guide has a picture of every single cable connection there is for old systems or old technology. And look at the picture that matches the cable that you have. Look at the name. And then look at the port on your TV. Look at that name. Or look at the picture of the port. And then look up an adapter, for example, AV to HDMI, if those are the 2 ports that you need. And then the other thing that's really simple to forget, sometimes your TV might not be on the right input. So make sure that if you plug it into the part of the TV that's labeled HDMI 1, that your TV is actually on HDMI 1. Or if you plug it into component, put it on component. Sometimes, if your game is in black and white, AV works better than component, and it'll show the game in color. So sometimes the system's working fine, and it's actually the games that are wrong. So for top loaders, those are the ones where the cartridge goes in the top of the system, as you might expect. Wiggling the cartridge around while you turn off the system and then turn it back on, sometimes that works. Sometimes you might turn off the system and lean the cartridge and hold it and turn it back on. That usually gets to work for me. Another thing that works for any old system and any new system, if the game doesn't load, just take it out, put it back in. You might have to do that over and over again till it works. That works a lot for me. And then another thing that you might do for older cartridges is get some isopropyl alcohol and a Q-tip and rub it on the contacts of the game. According to OneUpCard.com, it picks up the dust really well. And OneUpCard actually has a 1-Up card that you can buy that has a liquid that you put on it, and it picks up the dust from your games. So you can buy different things like the 1-Up card. Things not to do: for top loaders, try not to bump the cartridge while your system is on. And for anything older than a GameCube, don't unplug the controller while the system is on. Pretty much don't mess with anything hooked up to the system while the system's on if it's old. And another thing that a lot of people do with older games that you shouldn't do is blow into the cartridge. So they think that this gets rid of the dust, but in reality, it doesn't get rid of the dust. In fact, the moisture in your breath is actually harmful long term for the game. The reason it works when you blow into the cartridge and put it back in is because you took the game out and you put it back in. And as I said earlier, that tends to work. So, to recap, check your connections, make sure everything's hooked up in the right spot and all the way. If your game's not working, take it out, put it back in. You might have to clean the contacts a little bit. And finally, don't blow into the cartridge and just don't disconnect anything while the system's running if it's older. This can save you from unnecessary and expensive trips to repair stores.